Today, we're looking at all the Shadowmoor rares that have never been reprinted in this special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Tarkir Dragonstorm, pre-order Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy, or find a vast number of other great items on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Again, today's video is one big one per video as we look at all 21 of the Shadowmoor rares that have yet to be reprinted. A week ago, we saw all the Lorwyn rares. Last week, we discussed the Morningtide rares, and in coming weeks, we'll finish off the block by looking at the Eventide rares. Just a quick note about this series, it does go out to the gold patrons and Hero and Legend tier channel members first, then becomes available on YouTube for everyone else a couple days later. So some of the prices may have shifted by the time you see this. However, I'm not anticipating big changes for the cards we're talking about today. As you know, if you watch the channel, this set came out during a time when there was a recession in the game. Less packs were cracked, so these rares have become kinda hard to find in good condition. They tend to spike when they happen to see play with a new card, but the question is, do any of these 21 rares have potential? As we saw in the Lorwyn video especially, sometimes cards aren't reprinted for a good reason, they're just not very good anymore. Before we get started though, I do want to take a moment to say thank you to one of our Legend tier channel members, that is Miguel Almendras. Miguel, thank you so much for all your support. It goes a really long way. Not only do I appreciate your support as a channel member, but for your comments and your participation in the channel. Thank you so much, Miguel. And now, without any further ado, let's get into it. We're going to go in value order. Our number 21 card is Nullspine Invocation at 38 cents. This occasionally shows up in a random commander deck. I could see perhaps running this in some kind of madness build. Maybe if we got a new commander that cared about discarding, this could possibly jump. Number 20, Deep Slumber Titan at 49 cents. Again, this sometimes appears randomly in a commander deck, but the card just isn't that exciting. It doesn't have any evasion built in. They're just better creatures for 4 mana out there. Now it is a giant, and over time I'm sure there will be more support for that creature type. Maybe it will happen next year when we return to Lorwyn, but even if it does, I don't think it will be enough to push this card. Number 19, Valley Maker at 49 cents as well. This doesn't see much play to speak of. It's another giant, but it's expensive and it can only do damage to target creatures. If it could hit players, maybe I suppose you could use this in decks that want to juggle lands, but there are just better and more efficient ways to do that kind of thing. Number 18, Hollowborn Barghest at 50 cents, another card that really doesn't see play. The casting cost is the biggest issue here. Maybe you could consider this for a commander deck that's trying to force opponents to discard, but again, considering the casting cost, there are just more efficient ways to go about that strategy. Number 17, Impromptu Raid, also at 50 cents. This might not be terrible in the right commander builds. I'm not a big fan of the converted mana cost of 4 just to put this on the battlefield, but if you're looking to populate your graveyard, it might be an option for you. I do see players using this occasionally in Borborygmos and Fibblethip commander builds. Number 15 is World Purge at 77 cents. This can appear in a commander build occasionally, but it's pretty rare. It's real expensive. Sure, it could be used as a panic button, but there are cheaper board sweeps that don't slow the game to a halt like this one. What a novel idea. Number 14, Din of the Fire Herd at 82 cents. This one doesn't really see play either. It's another expensive card to cast. It also relies heavily on board state. It's a win more card that if you're behind, it won't save you. Plus, it only targets one player, which many times won't be good enough in Commander. Number 13, Heartmender at 90 cents. This doesn't really see play either, surprise surprise. It's trying to do a very specific thing, and -1/-1 counters are rarely a factor. However, I could see this in commander builds around a bunch of persist creatures and other creatures that are given -1/-1 counters as a drawback. For that to be practical though, Wizards would probably need to bring back the persist mechanic or something similar in a set or commander deck. That might be a long shot. Number 12, Wither Scale Worm at 91 cents. Another card that, say it with me now, doesn't see much play. If you could give this trample, it's interesting, but it's still a 6-drop, and even with trample, there are lots of ways to deal with this in your average commander game. Number 11, we broke the dollar mark with Dramatic Entrance at $1.39. Great name, wish it was on a better card. This one makes a rare commander appearance at times. The problem is, green has more efficient ways to do this same thing. Plus, I hate that it only works on green creatures. Okay, I promise there's going to be better ones, but before we get to the top 10, just a quick reminder, this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Tarkir Dragonstorm products there. You can pre-order Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy products, or pick up any number of other great items on their site, Magic related or otherwise. Remember, if your order's over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or the comment section below. I do have links posted in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the top 10. Coming in at number 10, Oversoul of Dusk, $1.49. This only sees rare commander play, but I don't hate the card. Protection from 3 colors is good, and 2 of those colors are black and red, which does take a lot of pinpoint removal off the board. It costs 5 for a 5/5, so you would want to use this in a deck that has ways to buff it, maybe an enchantment or equipment themed deck. It's a spirit as well, which could be relevant at times. This card is kind of borderline, but if the right cards come along in the future, I could see potential interest in this. Maybe it's worth grabbing a copy just in case, at least it's inexpensive. Number 9, Grim Poppet, $1.70. Again, it's rare, but sometimes this appears in a commander deck here or there. I could see Wizards giving more support to Scarecrows one day, but regardless, for 7 mana, this isn't that impressive. I'm sure you could work this into a blink combo in Commander to wipe your opponent's creatures, but there are more powerful game-winning combos that you could use with the blink mechanic today. Number 8 is Mossbridge Troll, $2.01. This appears in Commander Grothama All-Devouring builds at times among some other random decks. Hey, free regeneration is decent. This is still a little expensive to cast, and you must tap a lot of power to get the bonus, which will be relatively useless unless you can get the damage across with it. You'd have to give the card Trample, for example. It feels like it's making you jump through a lot of hoops. If it did have Trample built in, it would be a much better creature. Number 7, Cemetery Puka, $2.28. This doesn't see any consistent play right now. I don't think this would be terrible in Commander though. Power toughness wise it's weak, but it is cheap to cast and it has the potential to clone some great things in Commander games. I would grab a copy just to try this out. Number 6, Naxaw Click, $2.84. This doesn't see any consistent Commander play either, but it can appear in the format from time to time. Now you have to get this tapped before you can use the ability, and you can only play the card you exile until end of turn, plus you don't play the card for free. So a lot of the time, this might just steal you a land. Maybe this would be interesting in a Commander mill deck. There, it could mill cards from time to time, and if you get lucky, then hey, maybe you can play a big spell off it. Number 5, Fury Stoke Giant. This is at $3 right now. Again, this can see Commander play in rare occasions, but it's not in any builds consistently. The ability may be okay in a go-wide deck, but it only lasts for 1 turn, and in a game of Commander, you might not find a good opportunity to play this and tap a bunch of your creatures all at once. The Persist is interesting. It will allow you to trigger the Enters ability again. I just think this would be hard to make work for you unless you were already well in the lead. Number 4, Godhead of Awe, $3.20. Another card that just sees random, sporadic Commander play. There are decks that might want something like this, but they would have to be very specific builds. If you had lots of ways to buff your creatures, for example, then I could see maybe running this. I actually wouldn't be shocked if a new legendary creature down the road spiked this card, as long as this isn't reprinted before then, that is. I don't hate this card, it just needs to find the right home. Number 3, Dusk Urchins, $3.63. This can see a little Commander play. Sometimes it appears in the Scarab God, for example. Considering this only costs 3 to cast, there is some value here. Maybe it's not great, but it's not the worst card we've seen today by far. Coming in at number 2 is Windbrisk Raptor, $5.45. Now this is a decent card. It appears in a couple commander builds semi-consistently, Kestrel the Windcrested and Saphara Sky's Blade. This is good in aggressive commander builds, especially with evasive creatures, and it could be good in life gain decks as well. It's still relatively cheap at $5.45 too. If birds continue to see new support and Windbrisk Raptor is not reprinted, it could get a lot more expensive. And finally, coming in at number 1, Plague of Vermin, $24.98. This one is pretty expensive, and yes, it does see some commander play. It happens to combo directly with a fairly popular commander, a Yara First of Locthwain. Yeah, this is a pretty crazy 2-card combo. If you have the most life, you can end the game right there. If you don't, you're still going to gain a bunch of life while your opponents lose life. Okay, that does it for Shadowmoor. Interesting one. A lot of low cards in that hand, but a couple good ones too. We're going to be back soon to finish off this block looking at all the Eventide rares that have never been reprinted. And remember, if you didn't see the first 2 parts, we already looked at Lorwyn and Morningtide. Until next time though, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.